Good evening everyone. Today we are going to discuss about robotics. So here in this PPT we are going to discuss about the end effector and robot sensors. So before that we are going to discuss about the power drives used in the robots. So there are three different power drives used in the robots. First one will be the electric drives, second hydraulic drives, and third one pneumatic drives. So first we are going to discuss about the electric drives. So usually in the electric drives, it is have two types of electric drives used: is direct current servo motor and direct current stepper motors are used. So these DC motors can provide a small volumes and high torque, and they are precise and clean and reliable. The torque produced is proportional to the magnitude and direction of the current flow in the rotating armature. So the electrical energy is converted into useful mechanical energy. Okay, so the advantages of the electric drives is the low cost and cleanliness, reduced space, as well as high accuracy and high repeatability, easy maintenance. So disadvantages are the less physical power and low speed. Then comes into the hydraulic drives. So hydraulic drives used to run the large and more powerful robots. These are primary source of power in the earlier days, and these drives are greater strength because they are producing highest power in given small volume. So the advantages of this one will be the high power and high power weight ratio, then high strength. Disadvantages are now very noisy, large space it requires. Then comes into the pneumatic power drives. So these are the simplest and most economical drives are used in the robots. Advantages are the low maintenance and simple mechanism and quick assembly. Then disadvantages are the less sophisticated and low accuracy. These are all the disadvantages of pneumatic drives. Then comes into the end effector. So end effector is a robot device attached in the robot is to perform the various tasks. That is end effector. So there are two different types of end effectors are there. One is the grippers and another one will be the tools. The grippers are used to hold the components. The tools are used to perform the operations. So usually if painting and drilling and uh, painting and drilling, welding. So these are all the operations you can carry it with the help of the tools. Drilling tool, painting tool, as well as welding tool. Then comes into the grippers. It will be hold the component. Okay, so uh, now grippers, it have some different types of grippers are there. There is a mechanical grippers and suction or vacuum grippers, magnetic grippers, and hooks. First we are going to discuss about the mechanical grippers. The physical configuration or friction of the gripper retains the object. Then vacuum grippers. Uh, these grippers are operated by vacuum pumps and used for handling the light and flat parts. And magnetic grippers. These are used for handling the ferrous material which get attracted by the magnet. And hooks, they are used to lift the parts and move them. Okay, so some of the types of grippers they shown here, that is the mechanical gripper. So between the this gripper, it will be hold the component. Due to the friction, it will be holding the component, and it will be transfer the one place to another place. So this type of component is called as mechanical gripper. Then comes into the uh, so another type of gripper is the slide action grippers. So here also it will be same. It will be work. So between the these grippers, it hold the component. It transfers the component. Then comes into these are all the double grippers. So in between that, here one type of component, here one component has to be transferred. Then comes the next one, vacuum gripper. So here the vacuum has to be supplied over via the tube. So it will be going to fix over the flat surfaces. Due to the vac, it will be bonded to the component, and it will be has to be transferred from other one place to another place. So vacuum, great. Then already we know that the the magnetic grippers are used to the magnetic grippers are used to uh, the ferrous materials. Like a ferrous material, it will hold and it will be transformed over the hooks. In the overhead cranes, these type of hooks has to be used over here. So it will be with help of the hooks, it holds the component and transfers over. Here, heavy object we can transfer over with help of the hooks over here. Then comes into the next thing, uh, tools. So there are different types of tools you can attach over in the uh, robots. With help of the various activity we can take place. So that is the spot welding and arc welding, and spray painting, and drilling tool, grinding tool, and heating tool. That means the laser torch, it can be attached over it. So from that we can perform the various tasks or various operations over the with help of the robots. Mainly the welding operations in the car assembling. So those times it can be used, and also so many areas it will be used, and spray painting on the cars on the assembling section, it has to be used over here. So these are all the uh, tools function. Then comes into the robot. So the robot sensor, to make the robot precise and accurate, the sensors are used over in the robot. So there are different types of sensors are there: voice sensor, tactile sensor, proximity sensor, velocity sensor, range sensor, and voice sensor. We will see one by one. First, voice sensor. Sorry. Okay. First, we are going to discuss about the vision sensor. Instead of here voice, it's not the voice sensor, it is the vision sensor. So the vision sensor is system consists of video camera interfaced with the vision computer through video buffer called frame grabber and visual information processor. Sufficient light source is beamed on the object to be sensed. The video camera mounted either on the robot or in the fixed position of above the robot, so as to be cover the full work volume. The signal is sent camera through the frame grabber and process the computer, and based on the robot system senses the presence of location detail of the part to be handled. Then comes into the tactile sensor. The tactile sensors are two different types. One will be the touch sensor and another will be the force sensor. The touch sensor, it will be simply indicate whether the contact has been established with an object or not. Okay, a simple micro switch is an example for the kind of touch sensor. Then comes into the force stress sensor, consists of piezoelectric transducer or strain mounted on the end effectors. They measure three components of force and three components of torque acting between gripper and the object being held. These sensors are located between end effector and the last joint of the wrist. The next is the proximity sensor. Proximity sensors are used to sense the presence of the object within the specified distance or space without any physical contact. Usually this proximity sensor, it helps to prevent the accidents. Then comes into the velocity sensor. These are the helpful to estimate the speed with which the robot's manipulator to be moved. This is about the velocity sensors. Comes into the next one, range sensor. These measure the distance from the reference point to other points, that means other point. So that means it is going to find the distance from the object to the robots, or find the distance from the one object to the another object. For that purpose, this range sensor has to be used over here. The last one will be the voice sensor. This is the another important sensing mechanism of the robot. So it will be sensing by the oral communications. Okay, so voice sensing or voice programming is the oral communication of commands to the robot. So before that, the word patterns are fed into the robots. So it is equipped with the speech recognition system, which analyze the voice input and compares with the stored work pattern. Suppose if people are seeing some of the door, if you go and say open means it will be open. So that will be also with the help of the voice sensor. Same like here also robot sensor will be works according to that. The order we can give by orally over here, the voice sensor. So these are all the sensors are used over in the robots.